Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Door Shutter coming back to you with episode 50 of Direwolf20's 1.18 Modpack. And today, we are actually standing right next to the reactor, which is full of Enderium Blocks. Also, this was an absolute massive amount of Enderium to put into this, so I'm hoping everything goes perfectly here. We're actually going to change this to an outlet mode. And I've put an interface from Refined Storage with uranium here, so that way we're fueling this constantly. I'm not 100% worried about uranium. If it all, goes bye-bye, I think what we could do is actually grab a, what is it called? It's Refined Storage. There's something in Refined Storage. Detector. This thing, I believe, is what I'm looking for. That we can set up real quick. Right? So if I go here, make this, what I should be able to do is disable the reactor. I'm not 100% sure where I actually can. If I put a lever on the front of the redstone port. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Okay, so what if I do this? Nothing? Okay. So, is there a way to turn on the extreme reactor with redstone purely? Let's look at redstone. So it looks like the redstone port is the only way. So we want to do this. So we'll do that, and we will do energy stored. So we can either, okay, so yeah, energy stored for this one, right? But we could probably grab another redstone port. So let's try this. And I think this should be fine to break. So let's put this right here, redstone port. And let's say on and off, set from signal, save. And what we'll do here is we'll grab the detector. We'll say uranium blocks. We want to have above 100. Let's actually go 128. All right. And it looks like I actually got to get a cable here because it does not look like it's connecting to the thing. Actually, it doesn't look like it's. I mean, okay, whatever. So we want when above the amount. No, when below the amount. Yeah, when below the amount. We'll do that. Okay. So right now it should do nothing, but if we grab redstone and a repeater, right? So if we just run this, let's go out this way, and we'll just run a repeater into. Yeah, hold on. Let me grab some blocks. Cobble. So we'll just do this. And so if we said, hey, invert this. So everything's turning on. This is the actual first run of this system, by the way. It looks like everything is decent. For some reason, we are not outputting power, though. Okay, so bypass limit. Everything. You're still filling. Why is that? So if we actually grab a cube, let's grab an ultimate energy cube. Actually, we have one in here. So let's actually do this. Right? And then let's then put the flux plug on this end. So we'll do, okay, input, output, everything fine. So that is actually outputting more power, which is good, which is what I want, right? So I think everything is decent. So in total, we're wasting. It's going up pretty consistently, right? So fuel rods 324, max capacity 1296. Um, the core heat, I believe, the higher that this goes, the yeah. So as the heat rises, the fuel usage um is higher. Okay. So I'm pretty sure this will stabilize at some point, right? But we actually do want to make sure that we toggle this off, and we'll turn this back on. So if we run out of uranium, or if we have an internal buffer of 75%, we should shut off the entire reactor, right? That is kind of the end goal of this whole machine, and we are only getting 72,000 FE per tick out of this. So this isn't really the most efficient system, right? That is 100% not the most efficient. We're actually getting cyanide ingots, by the way, which cyanide ingots can be used to make the turbine housings and the reprocessor and a few other things. These can then be turned into plutonium and or cyanide fluid. So that's pretty interesting here. And apparently this can be used as a fuel if we wanted to. I believe the plutonium, if we actually do F3H here and go back in here, press U, looking at plutonium, this actually can be used. Yeah. So this can also be used as a fuel, which I believe is more efficient than the actual uranium that we're using currently. So keep that in mind. If we really wanted to, we could definitely make this bigger and things like that. So let's see. So reprocessor, plutonium. You could then turn this into lutecrite if you have cyanide and 1000 Fe. Lutecrite, I believe, is for turbines. Yeah, uses a coil, and of course they are expensive, but they're the one of the best. And of course, magnetite, which I don't even know, or magentite, don't even know what that is. Can make reticulite, which of course is another thing for turbines. And then you of course can make enotite, which can be used in turbines. You could never guess. So there's tons and tons of progression with the turbines as well, apparently, that has been added in. Awesome. Honestly, I'm all there for it. Yeah, well, you can see that we are burning quite a lot of fuel right now. And I'm still waiting on the actual heat to balance out. But I think for now, we should be good to kind of move away from this. I don't, well, actually, I want to go check before I say that. So let me go to the energy storage and I'll be right back. All right. So we're at the storage and you can still see there's a problem. We are not producing enough power. At the end of the day, we are losing more than we're putting in. Okay. And I'm not 100% sure why that is. But the reactor we just made was basically a drop in a bucket. It's nothing. Which means that the industrial foregoing system is probably going to have to hold off for now. What I want to probably do is actually, you can see here. Oh, is there a problem with this? Looks like we might be out of soul sand. It looks like some of these froze up again. This whole system, honestly, while it is really cool, it has its issues. That is for sure. I won't deny that. But I don't think I ever showed you guys the Nether Star generators, which, you know, they are very, very rarely being used now because we are so out of Nether Stars. Um, But yeah, it looks like we're out of soul sand. I'm gonna have to go check. But yeah, so we need to figure out something else, right? I don't know what to actually look at now for power. Of course, we could use mechanism. They have a reactor. They also have a fission reactor. We could make this bigger. If I did that, I would not be able to use Enderium because holy cow, was this a lot of Enderium? And I like that's not even an exaggeration. This was um, probably a good 6,000 plus Enderium ingots by themselves. Um, I mean, we could look at like, does this actually? I wonder how comparable is Netherrite to this? I mean, I don't have a lot of Netherite, I don't think. I have 1.6k. So let's actually look at this real quick. Right? So we're still gaining on heat, right? This is the biggest thing. We are gaining on heat still. We're currently about to burn 2 millibuckets per tick of fuel. It looks like it keeps kind of bouncing. But I'm kind of curious if we changed this. You can see that this actually it's just increasing. So let me go ahead real quick, change this to netherite and see what happens. I'm assuming that it's not going to be as good but we'll see, right? So we're doing 71,000 KFE per tick. Let's scram this, which shuts the entire thing down. And I think we should have enough netherite in the system to do this. Should, keyword, right? So let me do this, and I'll be right back. All right, so that didn't work. I'm not sure what happened. I actually crashed the game. Um, yeah, Extreme Reactors it seems extremely unstable, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm up for the unstableness of Extreme Reactors. Because I just crashed the game, and the way I crashed it was actually by doing this, just that right there. I'm not 100% sure why it crashed, but it crashed, and I don't know why it's not functioning, right? So I looked up here. Let's bookmark Enderium and let's look at Netherite, right? So if we bookmark both of these bad boys, you can see that this is a radiation moderator, right? This as well is a radiation moderator, but it's not working at all. I've placed every single block. Um, I think this might have just been a huge waste of time. I'm not sure. So, what I think I'm going to do is take out the center of this completely, which I really don't want to do, but I'm going to tear this entire thing down real quick. Let's eject all the fuel. And yeah, I think. Oh, I really don't want to do this. Also, this ejects Yellorium. And apparently, I've lost a lot of fuel. So what we can actually do here is do scram. And I could actually just get rid of all the uranium, but I'm not going to do that. I don't know if there's a way to... Well, I guess it's all clear. I just put a lot more in this than this, but that's fine. So I'm going to clear out the center of this and see if I can figure out anything. I'm not 100% sure, honestly, at this point. So, yeah. I'll be back. Alrighty, so I've completely gutted this entire thing, and what I want to do is try again, okay? So, everything's gone, right? We have literally no thing in the way. Everything should still be on the outside. What we're going to do is we're actually going to place these, like we had them. What I should be able to do... Actually, I don't even know if it's in here. Do we have building wands? Yes. Okay. So, I don't know if I have, I don't think I've ever made one in this pack, actually. We're actually going to make the Infinity Wand, and I'll explain why in a second here. Alright, so that should be all of them. Okay. So we should be able to then put the Netherrite down. I'm really gunning for this to actually work. I don't know if you guys can tell that, but I really want this to function. With Netherrite, it may be blacklisted. In all honesty, that could be an option. I don't 100% know. But why would it be? I'm trying to strive for overkill, and it's preventing me from it, basically. But we'll just do this. No empty spots, no nothing. Okay, and I threw some actually away, so let me into the system here, and let's just build the rest of this. Okay, and we should be able to do is come down here. There we go. And that is completely built back, right? So now we can place these down. No spots should have been missed. And we can throw in the reactor casing. I'm really just hoping this works. If not, we're gonna have to figure out something else, which is most likely replacing all of this with Enderium and going from there, which means we still don't have a whole lot of power, right? So this thing built, so I should be able to turn this on when we provide fuel. So let's go Yellorium, since we have some. Okay, we're just gonna toss it in here. Okay, it's not even accepting Yellorium. There we go. Yellorium. Let's just see. So this shouldn't be full at all. Okay, tearing the entire outside of it and replenishing it worked. Not 100% sure if that's the most efficient way to do anything, but it worked. Now let's see if anything actually changes here. I highly doubt it, right? But we'll turn this on and see what happens here. So we're still at 65. We're increasing power. 71, I believe, is where we were at last time. It looks like we're probably... Oh, nope, we're going a bit higher. Okay, so 72... Yeah, so around 72,000. So we got an extra 1,000 out of this, which isn't bad at all by any mean. I mean, it's still not enough, right? That is the biggest outcome of this. It's just not enough. We do need a lot more. So what I think we should do, let me actually do this real quick. So let's just grab some pipes, because I actually want to pipe this into the system as of current, just because might as well not waste any of it. We should just be able to do this. Okay. And that ports all of our cyanide into the system. Alrighty. So now we should look into some other system. I'm not 100% sure. This is going to take a while to be able to get a turbine, right? Which then we can turn this into a steam thing and all of that jazz. But I think for now, we are going to look into an alternative power source, which is kind of what I was hoping for this would be. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers and all of that jazz. Okay. So, what's our next source of power? We have mechanism generators, right? Which does provide a few different options, right? Which this also has a turbine as well. So if you guys are interested in looking at turbines, there's always, you know, this. We do have fission. We have fission or fusion and fission reactors. We also do have, I believe, like actual normal reactor thing. This is kind of like the base one, I believe. Here, let's turn off F3H so we can actually look at some of this stuff. So shift in, lead infused steel casing used to create fission reactor, mostly heat resistant, mostly radiation resistant, mostly safe. Of course, then you have the fusion reactor, which actually requires you to use, or to actually get the fission reactor, because you need nuclear waste, which comes from the fission reactor. So there's quite a bit of steps to actually get the fusion reactor. Ugh. And of course, you also have the turbine, which I believe is a whole nother ball game that we could definitely look at. But I was really hoping this would be like our saving grace here, honestly. Alrighty, so for some reason we completely ran out of soul sand, so I've completely revamped this system, and it actually looks like I've made a singular mistake so far. And let's grab this. Let's grab some sand. Yeah, because this is now becoming the issue. I just actually completed this section, so that's a thing. All right, but now what's happening here is we actually have 16 items flowing constantly to the actual depots or depots, whatever you want to call them. And this should be making plenty of soul sand since we now have 5 of them in total. We still have the clutch system in place and everything. This is a little bit more complicated than it really should be. But, you know, we're making more soul sand. Hopefully this will help us get more power. You can see currently one of the holdups is that we are not making enough of the actual sand. Not much I can do about that. I might have to increase the actual Stoneworks factories. So let's actually quickly grab more Stoneworks factories. I was really hoping to get into, what you call it, industrial foregoings, or doubling. I really was, but I do need to worry about power more than anything, because if we look in here, we're probably getting real close to running out. Yeah, we're still dropping. So that's a problem. It looks like our withers are back in, though, because we have 316,000 power, but still not a whole lot. All right, so we're just going to place these right here. And come on. Need one more. There we are. And we'll just run all the cables and everything we need. So let's grab some cables. I really am not sure why I've had more problems with the actual soul sand production than I think anything with this entire system. So just keep that in mind. This system is decent. It's just occasionally it just doesn't want to function. Not 100% sure, but hey, we'll fix it no matter what. All right, so let's also quickly do this, 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 and this. And we can probably grab some pipes, filters. Here we go. All right, and I kind of want to config this. So let's actually take a piece of sand so we don't pull anything else other than sand out of this, which shouldn't be the case, of course, because of the drawers being there. But, you know, paranoid. All right. So let's actually also grab some add-ons. So we got plenty of efficiency. We've got some speed on us. And let's grab some processing. So let's just toss these in here for now. And of course, we'll have to set up the machines for the right function that we want. I'm kind of wondering when the next update's going to be for this. But a lot of people have actually started making mods for 1.19. So we might be moving to 1.19 sooner or later. I'm not 100% sure if I will be moving too quickly to 1.19, but we'll see. Oop. Need one more time on that. I wish there was like a previous button. Honestly, it's kind of something I've never understood why there isn't. But it's not my mod, not my place to talk, basically. So let's grab some lava. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boop, boop, boop. All right, so that should have lava in every one of these. And then, of course, we need the water buckets. So water. And let's fill all these bad boys. Alrighty. So now we are making more sand. This hopefully should, create an overflow. You can see that we are getting a lot more than what we were. Also, it is a really strange thing. These material stonework factories will not push more than 64 into these drawers, no matter what. So I've actually had to put polar upgrades in them, just so you guys know. It's just a weird thing to mention, but yeah, it happened, and we have to deal with it. So, are we getting an excess of soul sand? We are. Good. 1.1, which is not a whole lot, but we should be running full steam ahead on the nether stars. But we are just not getting enough power because we are using like 400,000, 500,000 with that. So, I think what I want to do is, honestly, I got nothing. We might have to look into getting a fission reactor and then a fusion reactor, and hopefully at one point getting a turbine. We could make this bigger, honestly, if we wanted to. But I think with how many problems I've already ran into with this whole reactor, it would probably be more of a hassle than anything. How much cyanide are we getting? 77. To make a full-blown turbine, you would probably need a couple thousand or more, probably. And you need this for turbine housing basic as well. Of course, rotors. Yeah, you need a lot of this stuff, and even for the reprocessor as well. Hmm. Okay. So, with that in mind, I think I am going to wrap up this episode. I know it's a little bit before time, but we figured out that extreme reactors is not really the best way to go. There is quite a few issues with this mod. It kind of is disappointing with how many issues there is. I love big reactors back in the day. I know this mod uh, has a lot of releases previously that were excellent. They didn't have a lot of bugs, but it seems like the 1.18 port is messed up. But it also may be the version that we're on. I don't know which version is recent. So actually, I quickly just looked it up. This is actually the most recent version of Extreme Reactors. It looks like they have moved to 1.19, which I'm not 100% sure if that means that they won't be updating 1.18 ever again. But, with that, we are going to wrap up the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!